I think it's accurate to say that Vietnam made a pacifist out of me. Still, it was very difficult to quit my job. It is professionally rewarding and it pays very well. Also, I felt I had to be very sure about nonviolence because I think it's irresponsible to protest war if you can't offer an alternative. I think many people working in the defense industry feel very sincerely that the work they are doing is for the good of mankind. They feel we have only two alternatives, either to surrender to the communists or to defend our country at the risk of annihilating the world. The joy I found in nonviolence, apart from its personal philosophy, is that it presents a third alternative, a way to defend ourselves without killing, and I think it can work.
Make a value judgment and to say, we reject this attitude that we are merely scientists and we'll work for anyone, because in fact, we don't think that's a tenable position. In fact, you have to make the moral judgment. You have to say, supporting the Vietnam War is immoral. We will not allow our scientists to accept contracts that relate to the Vietnam War or American intervention in Southeast Asia or the world, for that matter.
Most of us as non-scientists are rather interested in the question of what are the bases for that moral judgment. What goes into a decision as to what is moral and what is not.
It's been no secret, and the man who's been taking the trouble to find out, he would have known what was going on.
The bombing plots, the classified
You can't force
information.
a guy to read something.
All right, the bombing plots, the classified information, they are not contained in these brochures that you're handing
First
out.
of all, the bombing plots don't exist.
Well, they
That's
do.
the one factual error.
Well,
There was
we had a guy
one of the indexes in one of the pamphlets that had A-bomb plotting.
plus the fact,
Yeah,
I think you've got
and
We won't worry
transportation.
about the details.
well, plus the fact
That's
that
not that important.
there was an engineer who quit.
I'm talking about the one where you go.
This is where all right, this is where we got our information, and you can deny the guy ever existed, but some guy, an engineer, quit that was working on the project. He quit and told us about it.
No, he wasn't working on that.
Well,
He was working on counterinsurgency surveillance techniques.
Yeah,
It was a
I
geologist.
think that's something,
I think he was a geologist. Yeah.
something we haven't talked
And
about.
I admire the guy. If he didn't want to work on it, he quit. You have to admire someone who's got that kind of...
are these things in the brochure? Is it the projects in Vietnam which you're doing, most of which are classified, are not in the brochure, just because of the fact that they are classified? Or the fact that you aren't judging contracts and whether they're moral or immoral means that you are opting out of the decision-making process in our society. And that actually, by your position...
Hey, let's move out of the way.
Yeah. One thing we haven't talked about, the whole research world changed in the last 15 years. Of a highway, what it will cost them, show them where they can get the money, how they can raise the funds to build it.
Who's they?
The government of Honduras.
Which is, okay, which in itself, see, we're in a political question right there, as soon as you said that. Because you may say the government of Honduras. That's right, because I'm saying that in fact, when you're doing this kind of research, and it's going to be applied in life, it is political. No, I mean, these are political questions. And you can't tell me that the over $30 million a year you do for DOD is not political.
And I see what America...
No, you can't say that to me.
It's not political. Well, what is political? Voting? Is that what politics is?
I mean, if in fact chemical and biological warfare research is going on, obviously it concerns more than a handful of individuals. So that the decision as to, what would be the appropriate circumstances to ask questions and to have answers would depend upon where you were starting from.
Well, I think we would treat you like any other business visitor to the Institute. They make an appointment, they come in.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that, apparently your position is that this is a private matter. That this is a private corporation, that these are private matters. Now, our position is that these are public matters because they affect the lives of vast numbers of people in the world. So that it's more appropriate to ask this kind of question out in the open with the television cameras and the radio microphones and so forth. But it was obviously, from your position, you think it more appropriate that we meet in a small room in private and discuss it outside the possible earshot of the public.
I know, because it's part of the point is, you're not informing us. You're trying to keep our people who want to know now away.
I'm sorry, we can't respond every time somebody wants.
But you see, from our position, what we want to do is to get that information to the American people. Because if the American people knew what was going on, I don't think they would tolerate it.
To the extent that we're able to give you information and you want to disseminate it, fine.
My interest in and dedication to nonviolence has made it completely impossible for me to continue to work in the defense industry, at least the way it's presently established. The week after the Peace Games exercise, I quit my defense job. I'm now planning to go into either VISTA or the Peace Corps, where I feel I can be more personally and I feel more constructively involved in the real problems that face mankind. The poem asks, but what do we do? Do we start here with ourselves? I feel that I have.
Nicola, Liberty Nicola, Dodili, Apanilo, Harowell, Bashashani, Dodili.